Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, friends. Hello, dear friends. Can you hear me now? Hello. Can you hear me now, friends? It's still with the echo. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Can you hear me now, friends? It's still with the echo. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. So, hello, friends. I think now we are able to hear ourselves. I'm sorry about this. So, let me know if you still cannot hear me well. And I'm going to start reading chapter 20 of Our Daily Bread. So, the journey. Nevertheless, I must walk today, tomorrow, and the next day. Jesus, Luke 13:33. It is always important to carry on in the quest for definitive spiritual growth. It is indispensable to press on, overcoming obstacles and darkness, transforming all afflictions and difficulties into steps of ascension. Thank you, friends. In, in outline, his objective, Jesus referred to his journey towards Jerusalem, where his final glorification through the martyrdom awaiting him. We can apply the same lesson to our own unending experiences, symbolizing by our own redemptive testimony's journey towards Jerusalem. However, we must clarify the characteristic of this journey for the acquisition of eternal values. Many believe that pressing onward means circumstances of promise in the world, winning positions of temporary renown, or bring with vast financial wealth into one's own personal sphere. But this is not so. In this regard, so-called regular people perhaps has greater potential for success. In fleeting situations, the dominant personality's journey is filled with complex responsibilities, and atrocious threats. The feeling of having reached the top increase the feeling of the downfall. It is imperative to carry on, but the journey, it is the responsibility of the eternal spirit in the arena of inner acquisitions. Very often, persons who believe they are at the height of their journey towards the divine wisdom are only paralyzed in delusion. Let no one be fooled by those false rest stops. It is important to work, to know oneself, to enlighten oneself, and to listen to Christ each and every day. In order to imprint these lessons within us, we have been born on the earth to share in its struggles and to spend its bodies, and on into we and on it we will be reborn. So this journey that Master Jesus and Emmanuel comes and bringing to us is very interesting, right? Because we always need to base ourselves and light ourselves with the north, which is Jesus' teachings, the gospel, the help of the illuminated spirits, right? Jesus said he came to help us to achieve the divine, this kingdom of God. He came to bring us an example, bring us tips to how we can proceed in this reincarnation. So we, the ones that has the access to know about the gospel, has a very great responsibility in our hands. Because if we don't know, we cannot do something that we don't know. But in this moment that we know, and Master Jesus came and gave us the ABCs, how this journey in our reincarnation has to be, we are the ones responsible to take advantage of all his teaching and march forward in order to grow spiritually. Because we come in this planet thinking that if we acquire a lot of wealth, if we acquire these power positions, if we are in a position of managing, being in control of people, we think this is the goal of this life if we are lost, right? If we're just living the material life, this is what makes sense. But we know, we that come here daily, that listen to Kardec Radio, we know that this is not our goal. It is important to live well, to have a good job so we can work and provide for the material things that we need. But the goal is higher. We need to aim for the spiritual growth, the things that will be with us forever. And it is why that it is indispensable to press on, overcoming obstacles in darkness, transforming all afflictions and difficulties into step of ascension. So Jesus here is telling us that everything that comes through our lives is a stepstone for us to grow. So we need to see life different. This is the call for us to change how we see our lives. We should be looking around and see life as a great opportunity to grow spiritually speaking. We might grow in the material world, but it's important for us to focus on the eternal things that is going to go with us to the other side when we return to the home, right? To our spiritual home. So we need to remember that we are spirits living in a material experience. So We are spirits. We just have the temporary physical body to help us, to mold us, so we can go to the other side feeling better. And with great achievement, that we graduate. We finish our this incarnation and we graduate. So Jesus, he knew, right, that he was going to suffer in Jerusalem. This is Jesus is referring to his journey towards Jerusalem. And he knew it wasn't going to be an easy, right, journey that he had. He knew about everything, but he didn't give up. He continued to fulfill God's wish to him and to humanity, because the suffering, everything that Master Jesus went through was to give us an example, is to give us the hope that we need while we're going through this journey here, because we know we are in the plane of trials and expiation. So we are going to have a lot of obstacles, a lot of darkness, and we'll have to transform a lot of things in us first. There's a lot of things in our heart, in our physical and spiritual body that we need to address and change. So that's why we need to do this inner journey, because we can only change ourselves. This is the tip that we receive. We can only change ourselves. So that's where we need to work on it. And Jesus says, many people believe that pressing onwards means seeking circumstances of prominence in this world, winning position of temporary renown, and bringing vast financial wealth into one's own personal sphere. So this is a call for us when we are just bringing things for our own personal things, leaving just the me, mine, right? We need to stop and think about this universal family. We need to think about acquiring things, yes, but to help many people, not only our family that lives in the same roof as us, not only the blood family that expands throughout of our house, but this universal family that we have, that God has provided to us. We are all brothers and sisters, and we all want and deserve the same love, right? So we need to work together. And he mentions that regular people perhaps has greater potential for success. Not that someone that is wealthy cannot achieve, but it's harder. We know many people that receive a little bit of power in their hands, how they deter from their pathway. So regular people are used to be working hard, to suffering, and seeing things as an opportunity. That is what it comes from our heart, right? The gratitude. We need to be grateful. As the mentors always tells us, as we read all the books, we need to be grateful and see things as opportunity in life. When we are finally able to switch how we see life, how we perceive life, it's going to be a great step for us to march for our evolution, spiritual evolution. It's imperative to carry on, but the journey is the responsibility of the eternal spirit in the arena of inner acquisitions. So the journey is the responsibility of the eternal spirit. So We really need to see our spiritual goals. What is our goal for our eternity? How we visualize our spirit in the future, in a year, in the end of this incarnation, the next reincarnation, and the other ones to come. We need to set goals because we already do when we are in the spiritual realm. But when we reincarnated, sometimes we forget. But thank goodness, God and Master Jesus has brought us the gospel. And if we are in doubt, we just need to go and open the gospel and find and learn with Master Jesus how to keep forward, marching forward, pressing on. So we need not to be distracted, right? Look, let no one be fooled by this false rest stop. So we need to be watching and praying more and more so that we don't be in this delusional, in this false rest stop, thinking that once we achieve power, wealth, we are in a good position, earthly, materially speaking, we achieved our goals in this reincarnation. We need to rethink about it and don't fool ourselves with this, because we are spirits. So yes, all the material things are good for while we are living the physical and the material life in material realm, but what are we going to bring with us in the other side? Are we going to come in this reincarnation, leave achieving nothing, having no more love or patience, no virtues that we acquire in this journey while we are here? We need to work on it and focus. We need to focus. Let us meditate and see what I'm doing today that I am different than I was yesterday. What can I do tomorrow to be better than I was today? Right? St. Augustine used to go to sleep thinking about his day, seeing, analyzing and checking what he did good and what he had to address and change. So we should be making this balance, checks and balance when we are going to sleep, when we're going to pray, to thank you for the day that we had. Let us look in the minimal details and see, what do we choose? Do we choose the good or not so good? Do we need to work on and stuff, or we can work in to be a little bit more better in what we already need to work on ourselves? So if we are good, there's always things that we can work on to make it even better. But if we are not so good, we could adjust. We always can be adjusting to be better. And then the Master Jesus finalized this chapter saying, it is important to work to know oneself, to enlighten oneself, and to listen to Christ each and every day. It is important to work to know oneself, to enlighten oneself, and to listen to Christ each and every day. So if we can only take this message for us today and put in practice daily, we will achieve a lot that Master Jesus is telling us daily, and if we see around. So we need to acquire knowledge, illuminate us, right? Know about things, have enlightenment things that will help us in this journey, and listen to Christ each and every day. How can we listen to Christ? We can meditate, we can go to the gospel, right? We can go listen to a broadcast about Jesus. And as you know, as we study the book Good News of Humberto de Campos, Boa Nova in Portuguese, you can learn so much. We can all learn so much, Master Jesus. And once we study, when we see how loving Master Jesus was and how many lessons he has taught us through his reincarnation, and we can see how many missionaries, how many disciples of Jesus, of God, are still in the planet, teaching us daily, showing us the good news. We just need to be open and looking for the good, right? As we always mention, our mentors mentioned to us before, seek the good, visualize the good, and mold the good. If we are working together with the Creator, we will see a lot of good. We just need to use our lenses, the good lenses, and see the divine in everyone. So let us just repeat again so we don't forget the teachings of today, that is important to work, to know oneself, to enlighten oneself, and to listen to Christ each and every day. But why is it important, right? In order to imprint these lessons within us, we have been born on the earth to share in the struggle and to spend its body, and on the willing to be born again. So we come on and on trying to work more and more in our spiritual growth. So we will acquire this if we are very disciplinary, right? We need to discipline ourselves. We need to study about ourselves, about the gospel. And with only those tools, we'll be able to achieve and to acquire a lot in this reincarnation and the other ones to come. So let us close our eyes. If you have your water, bring it close to you, or if it's far away, just visualize the good mentors blessing your water. Dear Mother, dear Father God, Mother Mary, and your Legion, we visualize the presence of all these divine beings surrounding us, applying healing energies to each and every one that is connected in this moment with us. Loving showers of blessing and healing energy is being poured upon us, helping us, letting go all the vices, all the old in us, renewing who we are, and help us to have strength, faith, and courage to continue in this journey, the journey in which we want to graduate, we want to be a better spirit. We feel the blessings, the healing energies helping us, not only in this moment, but in every single time that we made the connection with the divine, with our Creator. And as we keep feeling the loving vibrations and feeling and absorbing the treatment from the doctors and nurses. With gratitude, we say thank you, dear God, for the opportunity that we receive in this life. We are very thankful for these prayerful moments with the guidance of all these beautiful spirits that are working non-stop, helping us daily. Thank you for this lesson, and may we are able to work on this self-knowledge, in this enlightenment, and in connecting with Christ so that we can better live this life and prepare ourselves for the next reincarnation to come. Dear Father, dear mentors of Kardec Radio, dear guardian angel, Mother Mary, Master Jesus, thank you so much for helping us. And with the permission, we would like to close this prayer of today. And so be it. So dear friends, I hope you all felt the love and the healing energies that was poured onto us in this moment. Apologies about the sound in the beginning, but I hope you all were able to listening to this important call and help of Master Jesus to us. Have a good evening, and tomorrow at 6 p.m. we'll have another program to help us connect with the divine once again in our day. Bye, friends. Have a good evening.